What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, back with some more Demon Bluff. And today, I think I'm just going to focus on getting my streak up. I got up to 10 saves in a row. And unfortunately, my streak did reset down to 3 villages. But we're going to try our best to get those numbers up here. And Lilis plus Shaman, maybe not the easiest start. But let's see what we can do. Plague Doctor. So I will be remembering, after I flip over 2 more cards, I believe that I get a free guess with the Plague Doctor. I could be wrong. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's only villagers that are reset. Maybe the Plague Doctor doesn't get to check multiple times. Number 8's a real medium. Sure. Wait, you're a real medium. Number 2's a real baker. Oh, gosh. Okay. These could both be shaman-created mediums. And if so, we have got an interesting decision to make. And that is, do we want a bunch of bakers or do we not want a bunch of bakers? I actually think that these are not worth Plague Doctor checking. Because they're not both going to be evil with number 2, right? And it's so easy to see if number 2's a real baker. I think we should just flip number 2 and potentially get a baker chain going. Though potentially Lilis will kill our baker chain. But let's at least flip this. I was a druid. I was a druid. You don't say. Okay, so maybe this... Well, how does something get corrupted? Just via the Plague Doctor, right? Or you are corrupted... You are a liar, and you are a liar. Well, if you're corrupted, I already know that you are the evil team, probably, right? Let's at least flip over a few more things. Wretch. Okay, that's our second outcast. Druid. Learn one random outcast among them, if any. Sure. Jester. Do we have any face down outcasts? No. But we can still use this to learn if any of those are outcasts. There is a Plague Doctor. Sure. We don't get info on the Wretch. Jester. Learn how many are evil. What about here, here, and here? If that gives me 2 evil. Gives me 1 evil. How would there be 1 evil among those? I actually don't I kind of don't buy it. I kind of want to do this. Number 2 is not corrupted. Well, if they're not corrupted, I think that makes them evil. And then we have the Empress. So this should reset some of my abilities. It looks like it's only reset the Jester, though. So maybe Plague Doctor doesn't get reset, and maybe Druid just doesn't get reset for whatever reason. But the Jester is reset here, and we could check something different other than this set. Let's see what the Empress is saying. 3, 8, or 6. 3, 8, or 6. 1 is evil. You have told me there's a Plague Doctor right here. So either, I mean, I feel like that's all good. Either this is an evil, we know that this is good. I kind of do think this is an evil, and this isn't corrupted. So I think that you are simply corrupted by the Plague Doctor. But that doesn't make sense for the Jester. Why does the Jester only see 1 evil among these? What's this evil team? A Shaman. Oh, maybe you're good, and you're corrupted, and you're evil, and you're evil. Sure. Okay, let's check 3 things that we know are good. I'm done with you. No! You were good! Huh. So you actually have some really powerful information now. You are telling me that one of these 2 are evil? Oh, I clicked the Wretch. I clicked the Wretch. Okay. The wretch is an outcast. It's meant to throw you off. And yeah, it's almost like so basic that I just overlook it completely. And that happened in the last video as well. But that information was good. What was your previous information? 2, 8, and 7. There is one evil. Yeah, I mean, oh, so maybe this information is wrong? What is this pointing at? 3, 8, and 6. Yeah, I think that the baker has to be evil. And the empress has to be evil. I think that that's the only way I can sort this. The only other option would be, if this one is evil, that would mean that this is good. But then I don't have a way to place another evil on the board. So I think you're evil, and I think you're evil. Cool. Okay. Got a little tripped up there, but we're still streaking. And let's see how long we can keep that alive. Puka and doppelganger. I think this one should be fairly easy. Only one outcast here as well. 2 away from a corrupted character. Well, how does someone get corrupted? By the Puka. So if you are 2 away from a corrupted character, that would mean that these are corrupted and these are the Puka, or you are corrupted or you are Puka. All of those options are possible. If you're corrupted, that would mean that the Puka is sat here and here. I'm 2 cards away from the closest corrupted character. There's really anything is possible with that. Literally all of these things could be corrupted or evil from the number that you sent me. Don't love that. Let's just flip over a random one here. 7 is good. Sure. What do you have? A knight. A knight. Well, if you are corrupted by the bard, that's a little tricky. Number 2 is a real medium, says the medium. And number 8 is a real doppelganger. Huh. You know what? I trust those. That actually seems pretty dang convenient, to be honest. Which does kind of point to this bard being sober and one of these 2 being the Puka. This could be the Puka and this could be a minion. Or this could be the Puka. This could be the minion. Either way, this is looking good. Number 6 or 3 is a twin minion. Yeah, I kind of like that. Twin minion. Evil, evil. Wait, no, because if you're the Puka, then you are corrupted. Which means this should not be right, which means the twin minion then has to be somewhere different. Let's flip over the remaining cards here. Between 3, 5, and 6. 3, 5, and 6, which includes you. Okay. I was looking for number 3. 3, 5, and 6, there is a villager, an outcast, and a minion. And if lying, all characters in my info are villagers, which means you can never be the Puka. Not that I ever thought you were. 7 and 3 were never Puka candidates for me. So 3, 5, and 6. Oh, I think that this isn't going to work, though. Because this can't be the Puka. This can't be the Puka. So if you're saying 3, 5, and 6 sit no Puka, that means the Puka's right here, and then your information is corrupted, and then all of these are villagers, which could mean that you are the Puka. You are corrupted, showing me 3 villagers. And then you are the minion. You're just good. 3 or 6 is a twin minion. Yeah, that checks out that this could be the Puka poisoning both of these things. It doesn't seem like there's room for a Puka over here. That's the important thing. And you know what? I think that this is kind of... So could this ever be the Puka? This is the Puka. poisoning this, and then this is evil. But I think this is always good, so we can start here. Yeah. So this is a real knight. So this is not the Puka. We knew this wasn't the Puka, ever. We also know this isn't the Puka. Yeah, I think it's just this one and this one. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. We talked it through. I was just looking at the potential options there still. Whoa. Baby's first village. 1 outcast plus a Puka. Now, we don't get that much information, and half of this board is going to be lying. That's really interesting. No evil's adjacent to me. So that could be right, or it could mean that there's a Puka, or it could mean that you're a Puka. That literally tells me nothing. Huh. That literally tells me nothing, doesn't it? No evil's adjacent to me. That's what any lover would say. We know you're not the Puka. You are good. You might be corrupted. But the Puka would lie. So you are not the Puka, but anything else could be the Puka. Let's go over here. Closest evil is counterclockwise. This away. Or right here is the Puka. But the Puka can't be right here. Just can't be. Unless we have a drunk. We do have a drunk. We have a drunk and a Puka on a 6 board. Okay. I no longer think we have a drunk. The Bombardier, you are good. The Poet could be the Puka. Could be the Puka. Let's flip this. Oh, the Puka actually can't be sat right here. Let's look at this one first. Between 1, 3, and 5. That includes yourself. There's an outcast, a demon, and a villager. I do not see the outcast happening there. At the very least, this information is bad. But I don't think it's bad because you're bad. Because you have to actually be good. Because the Puka cannot be sat counterclockwise to the Poet. 2 cards away from corrupted character. That seems right in both directions. Bard actually kind of just solves the game here. I'm going to kill without a flip there. That's the Puka. Yeah, you messed up, friend. That was not in your favor. It was kind of a baby's first village there because there were not many places for a Puka to hide, but it did get a little scary considering half of the information that we were going to look at was going to be corrupted. Now we've got Lilis and Witch, which means that we might not be able to flip over everything here. That is also pretty scary, but we just had some good practice with it. We did not flip over something in the last village, so maybe that will help us in this one. I am dizzy. How could you be dizzy? From the Plague Doctor? I think you're evil. I'm shooting. I'm firing my laser. There we go. Counselor down. That is some points. That means that one of these two will either be a Plague Doctor, a Wretch, or a Bombardier. I do want to find a Plague Doctor, but I think I'm going to leave these slots so that way Lilis has the chance to just kill a Bombardier. It's a little bit tricky because then we have like Schrodinger's Plague Doctor. Not knowing if there's a Plague Doctor or not is kind of terrible. But what can you do? 1 card away from the closest evil, and it's not the Confessor, so it could be number 6 right here. We do not have any abilities that we can activate, so we're just going to flip over the Knight, and 9 goes down. So this could have been our Outcast. I think we can flip over 2 fairly safely now. All right, and 2 looks like it's probably the Wretch. I think this, I mean, one of these 2 is evil, right? Number 6 is a real Plague Doctor. Okay, we might want to get access to that. I was a hunter. I do not think you were. We can see if you were... Oh, I don't get to flip this up. Okay, well, we have to make a kill then. That's our witch. That will allow me to flip over the plague doctor, at which point Lilis will not get a kill. And now we have to find Lilis. And I think we corruption check the plague doctor. And if they're corrupted, then we'll learn, hopefully, the final evil. And maybe it will be the knight. But I think this will say not corrupted. Oh. 7 is corrupted. 1 is evil. Unfortunately, we did not get any new info there. But there's no way for this. Okay. So the only other thing that could actually happen here, this could be the plague doctor. This could be plague doctor corrupted. And this plague doctor is bad guy. Oh no, but they told us 1 is evil. Okay, so this is actually all right. You are just corrupted. You are good. You are good. The knight is evil. Nice. Okay. Little spooky attacking the knight there because the knight would have killed us. We take an additional 4 damage, but we were just right. All right, we are streaking up here. Up to village number 7. And the Confessor is already flipped for some weird reason. I think that's just an artifact of the previous board. We've got 2 outcasts plus a counselor. Whoa, whoa, wowie. That's a lot of outcasts. All right. 2 or 9 is a counselor. That could actually be really helpful. All right, there we go. I kind of am curious to see what this is now. But 2 or 9 is a counselor, which means you could be the drunk, but you wouldn't be the drunk sat next to the counselor. You could be a doppelganger sat next to a counselor. We're going to avoid 2 and 9, and hopefully Lilis will kill one of them. Seems unlikely. This is fairly likely to be an outcast, but that would still be good info to have. It is not, it is not a face-up outcast. It could be the drunk or the doppelganger. I should use this fortune teller now, and I'm going to use it to check this oracle's information. True. Okay, that's good info, because we're going to get that reset with Lilis in just a moment. And 9 dies. I think I have to kill 2 then. Let's flip over the other things, I suppose. 1 pair of evil. I don't love that. Oh, the wretch could create a pair of evil with the dreamer. Okay. So we are going to see, I'm not going to check the wretch again, but I'm going to see among, I could check 2 good things. Yeah. So this has to be evil. No, but you told me that there was an evil between these 2. Oh, we're never going to get that nighttime now because I didn't flip this over. Oh, so that was just like a mistake regardless. 1 evil adjacent to me. Huh. But you told me 4 or 8 false, and you told me 2 or 9 true. So, if 2 or 9 evil is true, but that's false, you could be the drunk. But then I don't know how I get a false on these ones. That would mean that this is actually an evil? That's what this fortune teller info is pointing at. Like, either way, we know this fortune teller info is wrong now, right? We know that between 2 and 9, there isn't an evil. because one died to Lilis and one died to my dagger. So if there isn't an evil among those two, there has to be an evil among the Confessor and the Bombardier, right? That's just how it works. Whew, it is nerve-wracking attacking a counselor. But this information is our drunk. Meanwhile, the lover is now sat next to an evil. What other ways? Like how? Oh, the counselor plus the wretch is the pair of evil. And then you, I think, are just the Lilis. I think so. Whew, okay. That one was a little bit spooky, but we are still killing it here. One demon, 2 minions, 1 outcast, and then also the puppet. Lilis, puppeteer, counselor, drunk. Wretch, right off the start, pretty bad one to hit. Number 3 is a real scout. Let's flip that. Puppeteer is 1 card away from the closest evil. Definitionally, that is true. Doesn't mean you might not be a puppet. But you're being told to be a real scout. I kind of trust that, like, backwardsly. This information is true, so I kind of believe this, but you could be a puppet. You certainly could be a puppet. Slip over 1 more card. Number 5 is a real poet. Well, hold on now. We don't have... wait. How could that be possible? That's a screenshot for the thumbnail right there. Because how could number 5 be the real poet if you're the real poet? So I'm getting ready to say that this means I should always kill number 5. This always has to be a lie. Right? Hold on. Okay, let's pretend this is the truth. But then this isn't the poet. It is the doppelganger. But we don't have a doppelganger. But it can't be the drunk, because the drunk wouldn't double claim the poet. I think that this has to be the drunk pointing at a minion. I think that that's the only thing that makes sense. I'm going to run it. Yeah, okay. There's only 1 pair of evil. So there's actually 2 pair of evil. There's the puppeteer plus puppet, and then there is potentially counselor plus wretch, but also potentially just wretch sat next to the puppet or something too. I'm trying to see where this other evil team could be. Oh, maybe it's here. Maybe the poet is also evil. Let's see what you have to say. I'm 3 cards away from corrupted character. 1, 2, 3. How do we have corrupted character? Drunk. Drunk. But we know you're sat next to something bad. I think this is the evil team. Counselor sat next to a wretch. Only 1 pair of evil. No, there's a 2nd pair of evil. This could actually also be bad. But 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What is the corruption here? Oh, it's potentially drunk. The corruption is potentially drunk. I just don't think... Sure, let's take a look. There's only 1 pair of evil. So you could be the drunk. You cannot be the puppet. So you have to be the puppet. How does that make sense? There's only 1 pair of evil. I didn't even see what you said. One, two, three. Oh, hold on now. Was no puppet created because the puppeteer was sat in between... Oh, and this says evils killed 2 of 3. Wait, but then there is only one pair of evils. Oh no, this is the other pair of evils. So there was no puppet. Interesting. Could I have known that there was no puppet? Like, was that information kind of secretly given to me? That was strange. Yeah, I was willing to believe Lilis was the drunk, though. These were both going to tell lies and be sat next to the puppeteer, which was going to be confusing. But I think I have to assume that this is the drunk there and that this is good info, though. It didn't say anything. I don't know what this card was even claiming. I don't know. Somebody can let me know in the comments. But that one was definitely a little bit confusing. This one looks fairly straightforward. Ba, witch, plague doctor, doppelganger. Okay, could get a little bit funky with it too. And we've got a fortune teller, a knight, a druid, another fortune teller. We do have a doppelganger. We do have a plague doctor. All right, I'd like to figure out what the outcast is. It looks like the outcast. Oh, no. We've got a witch. Okay. Maybe we could have tried to get some information before doing the witch stuff. So we either have a doppelganger. I guess what we do is we use the druid to see if the bombardier is right. Yeah, that's got to be the good answer here. No outcasts, or you're evil. So, if you were telling the truth, that means that this contains a doppelganger. So you would tell me that the druid is good. But if this is evil and the bombardier's right, then this contains an evil player, and you would tell me that the druid is good. I feel like... Oh, maybe we use the judge here. You lying? Number 4 saying the truth? Wow. I mean, I almost want to unload everything at the bombardier then. There's an evil there. I have to do it. Everything is pointing at the bombardier. It was the witch. Now we can flip over card number 1. Ba is 3 away from the closest evil. That's got to be the knight. Good night. All right, that was scary always to have to execute the bombardier, but we needed to do it in order to continue on. And that will bring us to village number 10. I believe that village number 10 was my biggest streak. We can actually go back and check this real quick at the menu. And yeah, saves in a row 10. So we save this one and we save one more and we have our new longest streak. That's the goal right now for this video. 2 evils among this crew, a demon and a minion, a shaman and a puka. Okay. Plus 2 outcasts. Plague Doctor, Bombardier, Wretch. Wretch. 5 or 9 is Shaman. Do that for now. Closest evil is equidistant. So, that kind of points at 6 and 9 together. Yeah, okay. Oh no. It points at 4 and 2 together now, huh? A nice little wretch surprise right there. I am much more likely now to believe 4 and 2 are the evil team, so I think I trust 5 and 9. You cured 1 corruption. And I do believe... So I thought someone said in the comments that this character could not be corrupted themselves. Doesn't seem like that's anything to do with this. If that's true, somebody let me know. But it looks like the alchemist can be corrupted. But they've cured a corruption, so we can kind of trust this info here. Or there may be evil. But I'm kind of leaning towards trusting it. Pick 3 characters, learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. I don't know if you can check a wretch as an outcast. Maybe you can. Plague Doctor. Huh. 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 That's too many outcasts, obviously. Which lets me know one of them is lying. But still, I feel like it can't be these 2. Well, no. One of the outcasts needs to be lying. So it could be like these 2 are lying. But this druid could actually give us pretty powerful game-solving info then. 1 away from the closest evil. And you're telling me that the hunter is not corrupted. You're telling me the hunter might be corrupted, though. Now, I'm a little bit confused, because I thought that the demon could only claim villager roles. And then we also have a double claim, which would also be a minion. So, oh, and then we also have Puka. We've got Puka, which could just be Puka corrupting this alchemist. And then this is a minion. No. But the minion has to be one of these 3 outcasts, right? Look, I want to square that up first. I believe that because we're supposed to have 2 outcasts, one of our 3 outcasts has to be the minion. This double claim is actually just created by the shaman. So these are both confirmed good. I think that both of these alchemists are confirmed good. You're saying you cured 1 corruption, which could be the enlightened, and you're the Puka, and you are correct that the wretch and the oracle, you were not able to cure anything. But then why are you saying that you should be cured, Hunter? Unless somehow the hunter was cured and then plague doctor poisoned? That doesn't make any sense. Huh. I liked some of that stuff for a second. I like this idea, that this is the Puka cured by the alchemist. Oh, you're actually just evil. And you're actually just giving me true information. You're good. Which means there is no plague doctor among these 3. That's the shaman. That's the Puka. Cool. That now gets me to 10. Should I do 1 more or should I keep it there? Let's keep it there. Let's build some suspense. This is a good length for a video, I think. And in the next one, I will be beating my current village streak of 10, hopefully. But for today, that's going to be it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.